The opportunity to secure ourselves against defeat lies in our own hands. It is a fool's prerogative to utter truths that no one else will speak.
Stand in the divine rain, and seeds of wisdom will grow in your soul. Don't worry about being effective. Just concentrate on being faithful to the truth.
Dreams don't work unless you take action. The surest way to make your dreams come true is to live them.
You can't be brave if you've only had wonderful things happen to you. Manifest plainness, embrace simplicity, choose selfishness, have few desires.
In order to make a precise decision, keep a steady spiritual connection.
Don't be afraid to challenge the pros, even in their own backyard. Common sense is the collection of prejudices acquired by age 18.
Do what you can with what you have where you are. Being grateful does not mean that everything is necessarily good. It just means that you can accept it as a gift. The day we put an end to believing in hope will be the day we stop existing, for without hope, we are nothing. There are some choices you can only make once. You can't go back to where you made a choice and then take the other one.
Not all things that fall down break. Some develop wings.
In my opinion, our healthcare system has failed when a doctor fails to treat an illness that is treatable. Though the road's been rocky, it sure feels good to me. Few among men are they who cross to the further shore. The others merely run up and down the bank on this side. Well, I must endure the presence of a few caterpillars if I wish to become acquainted with the butterfly.
When something can be read without effort, great effort has gone into its writing.
Becoming well known is the most valuable element in the connection process. Sometimes the hardest lessons are the ones that change us the most. Sometimes the hardest part isn't letting go, but rather learning to start over. You have to fight through some bad days to learn the best days of your life.
The true sign of intelligence is not knowledge, but imagination.
It is not easy to keep silent when silence is a lie. You're being judged no matter what, so be who you want to be. When we stop fighting against death, we are able to wake up to our lives. Keep your conscious mind busy with the expectation of the best, and the rest will follow. Miracles do not, in fact, break the laws of nature.
What the ancients called a clever fighter is one who not only wins, but excels in winning with ease.
The simple things are also the most extraordinary things, and only the wise can see them. If you do not tell the truth about yourself, you cannot tell it about other people.
If you have the courage to begin, you have the courage to succeed. Everything has to be all right. Maybe not today, but eventually.
Accept yourself, your strengths, your weaknesses, your truths, and know what tools you have to fulfill your purpose. Success is a little like wrestling a gorilla. You don't quit when you're tired. You quit when the gorilla is tired.
Knowledge of the enemy's dispositions can only be obtained from other men.
It is not by believing, but by doubting that one can attain to the truth, which is ever-changing form and condition. Youth is easily deceived because it is quick to hope. The worst thing about being lied to is knowing you weren't worth the truth.
He who knows his enemy and himself well will not be defeated easily. There is no wealth like knowledge, no poverty like ignorance.
When I was growing up, I always wanted to be someone. Now I realize I should have been more specific. In the future, there will be no female leaders. There will just be leaders. Nothing can dim the light, which shines from within. Life is just a short period of time in which you are alive. It's a big world, but we are small. Every little thing matters a lot.
Only courageous hearts can endure the bitterness of truth.
It is difficult to make the right choice if you fear choosing wrongly. The secret of success in life is for a man to be ready for his opportunity when it comes. Make your interactions with people transformational, not just transactional. It was amazing how it worked. The tiniest bit of truth made credible the greatest lies.
Even though the ship may go down, the journey goes on. Either you want change or you want comfort, but you can't have both.
When you are present in gratitude, you can't be anywhere else. If you're not failing every now and again, it's a sign you're not doing anything very innovative.
If we will be quiet and ready enough, we shall find compensation in every disappointment. Growth is in a series of mistakes. That's the only way you learn.
Thought is so cunning, so clever, that it distorts everything for its own convenience.
Living never wore one, so much as the effort not to live. If I have a platform and a voice, I should use it for my people.
If I had to live my life again, I'd make the same mistakes, only sooner.
Where the army is, prices are high. When prices rise, the wealth of the people is exhausted.
Mankind is made of two kinds of people: wise people who know they're fools, and fools who think they are wise. Every existing thing is born without reason, prolongs itself out of weakness, and dies by chance.
Hard work beats talent when talent fails to work hard.
I would have offered you a forest of truth, but you wish to speak of a single leaf.
Peace cannot be kept by force. It can only be achieved by understanding.
There are some things that it is better to begin than to refuse, even though the end may be dark. You will receive everything you need when you stop asking for what you do not need.
But if a villain can be made, then they can be unmade.
Don't believe what your eyes are telling you. All they show is limitation. Look with your understanding. Don't get burned twice by the same flame. Life is a succession of lessons which must be lived to be understood.
It's better this way, sister. There's more to life than staying safe.
To be independent of public opinion is the first formal condition of achieving anything great. And therefore those skilled in war bring the enemy to the field of battle and are not brought there by him. If we didn't fear the truths we didn't hear, we'd lose the need to fear the ones we did. Success or failure in business is caused more by mental attitude even than by mental capabilities. Despite my ghoulish reputation, I really have the heart of a small boy. I keep it in a jar on my desk. Being angry, resentful, or saddened by rejection can suck the sweetness out of acceptance.
Some things you hear with your ears, others you hear with your heart.
Everyday gratitude sweetens what appears flavorless and brightens all that appears dim. The universe doesn't like secrets. It conspires to reveal the truth, to lead you to it. Surround yourself with only people who are going to lift you higher. Beauty as we feel it is something indescribable. What it is or what it means can never be said.
When we are most alone is when we embrace another's loneliness. Heaven does without doing. Through its purity, earth does without doing through its calmness.
That truth should be silent. I had almost forgot.
Silence is a true friend who never betrays.
The act of taking the first step is what separates the winners from the losers. Sorrow looks back, worry looks around, faith looks up. May your feet ever walk in the light of two suns, and may the moon shadow never fall on you.
Keep your best wishes close to your heart and watch what happens.
Nobody's going to win all the time. On the highway of life, you can't always be in the fast lane. I figured something out. The future is unpredictable. Try not to become a man of success, but rather become a man of value.
Our attitude toward life determines life's attitude towards us. To bear and not to own, to act and not lay claim, to do the work and let it go, for just letting it go is what makes it stay.
For my part, I know nothing with any certainty, but the sight of the stars makes me want to dream. It was the living who ignored the strange and wonderful, because life was too full of the boring and mundane.
Never give up. Things that you keep dreaming about will happen one day. A person's limitations are only measured by their drive to succeed.
Persistence is the quality of winners. Successful people never give up. Knighthood lies above eternity. It doesn't live off fame, but rather deeds. Integrity is doing what is right and truthful, and doing as you say you would do. You look up when you wish to be exalted, and I look down because I am exalted. The value of time becomes evident when it's gone. Use it wisely. The strongest people are not those who show strength in front of us, but those who fight battles we know nothing about. Success will be within your reach, only when you start reaching out for it. The aim of life is to live, and to live means to be aware, joyously, drunkenly, serenely, divinely aware. Don't part with your illusions. When they are gone, you may still exist, but you have ceased to live. I keep telling my students to never give up chasing your dreams, and I too will never give up chasing my dreams. Don't leave a piece of jewelry at his house so you can go back and get it later. He may be with his real girlfriend.
Just go with it, he thought. You won't figure out anything if you give in to fear.
When I was born, the doctor slit my throat to see if I could talk. You must learn from your past mistakes, but not lean on your past successes. Find the things that matter and hold on to them and fight for them and refuse to let them go.
Don't flail against the world. Use it. Flexibility is the operative principle in the art of war. It shattered something inside me that hadn't been broken before.
Fall 7 times, stand up 8. Authority without wisdom is like a heavy axe without an edge, fitter to bruise than polish. Fiction is a solution, the best solution to the problem of existential solitude. If you can't feel gratitude when you are in need, the feeling of the need would never leave you, even if it is fulfilled. There is no future without a past, because what is to be cannot be imagined except as a form of repetition.
Stay close to anything that makes you glad you are alive.
If so few female geniuses are found in history, it is because society denies them any means of expression. Life isn't fair, but it's still good. There is no problem more difficult to solve than that created by ourselves. The clever combatant imposes his will on the enemy, but does not allow the enemy's will to be imposed on him. In the middle of every difficulty lies opportunity. You only fail when you stop trying.
I don't think of all the misery, but of the beauty that still remains. An investment in knowledge pays the best interest. If your actions don't live up to your words, you have nothing to say.
Life has more imagination than we carry in our dreams.
Receive with simplicity everything that happens to you. Everything should be made as simple as possible, but not simpler.
Wisdom comes to us when it can no longer do any good.
In warfare, there are no constant conditions. He who can modify his tactics in relation to his opponent will succeed and win.
You can't go back and make a new start, but you can start right now and make a brand new ending. To find what you seek in the road of life, the best proverb of all is that which says, "Leave no stone unturned." There are a dozen views about everything until you know the answer. Then there's never more than one.
One who has few must prepare against the enemy. One who has many makes the enemy prepare against him.
There's no moment more precious than the exact moment you are living now. We can't help everyone, but everyone can help someone. To read is to empower is to write is to influence is to change is to live. Life is a waste of time, and time is a waste of life. So let's all get wasted and have the time of our lives. Every day is a bank account, and time is our currency. No one is rich, no one is poor. We've got 24 hours each. Man is always prey to his truths. Once he has admitted them, he cannot free himself from them. You were put on this earth to achieve your greatest self, to live out your purpose, and to do it courageously. There's a fire against us, and in the end, the fire could burn us or ignite us into an unstoppable force. We will all pass through a sorrowful stage in life. When it's your turn, don't let the storm sweep you away. You can never cross the ocean until you have the courage to lose sight of the shore.
Never say anything about yourself you don't want to come true.
There are some experiences in life they haven't invented the right words for. Truth is ever to be found in the simplicity, and not in the multiplicity and confusion of things. Knowing is not enough, we must apply. Willing is not enough, we must do. We started off trying to set up a small anarchist community, but people wouldn't obey the rules.
A whetstone, though it cannot cut, may sharpen a knife that will. The road to success is dotted with many tempting parking spaces.
If you stay positive in a negative situation, you win. Life is as easy or as hard as you think it is. Each affects the other, and the other affects the next, and the world is full of stories, but the stories are all one. The most common way people give up their power is by thinking they don't have any.
Once you stop learning, you start dying.
Anything that doesn't take years of your life and drive you to suicide hardly seems worth doing. Comfort is no test of truth. Truth is often far from being comfortable. Wanting him to come back before anyone notices part of the world has not moved since he left. To make a true choice, we must have true knowledge. Religious structure often dilutes the spiritual experience. We come spinning out of nothingness, scattering stars like dust. If you reveal your secrets to the wind, you should not blame the wind for revealing them to the trees.
The higher we soar, the smaller we appear to those who cannot fly.
The only faithfulness people have is to emotions they're trying to recapture. You've a good heart. Sometimes that's enough to see you safe wherever you go, but mostly it's not. What saves a man is to take a step, then another step.
One must wait until the evening to see how splendid the day has been.
Empty your mind, be formless, shapeless like water. Be water, my friend. The fear of death follows from the fear of life. A man who lives fully is prepared to die at any time. The fact that you aren't where you want to be should be enough motivation. In the end, we will remember not the words of our enemies, but the silence of our fears. He who has a why to live can bear almost anyhow. Alive or dead, the truth won't rest. Rise up while you can. We are what we pretend to be, so we must be careful about what we pretend to be. I try to avoid looking forward or backward, and try to keep looking upward. Who controls the past controls the future. Who controls the present controls the past. If you're affected by peer pressure, you're literally not being yourself. Defeat is not the worst of failures. Not to have tried is the true failure. Things die, but they don't always stay dead. Believe me, I know. We are addicted to our thoughts. We cannot change anything if we cannot change our thinking. When one has a grateful heart, life is so beautiful.
It is an acceptance of being uncomfortable that drives change. The world changes. We do not. Therein lies the irony that kills us. Forgiveness is divine, but never pay full price for late pizza.
What you think you become, what you feel you attract, what you imagine you create. Better to die fighting for freedom than be a prisoner all the days of your life. It is the supreme art of the teacher to awaken joy in creative expression and knowledge.
Set the troops to their tasks without imparting your designs.
A loving soul was always more beautiful over the long haul, but actual prettiness was fleeting. The truth may be out there, but the lies are inside your head.
Sometimes, not getting what you want is a brilliant stroke of luck.
When obstacles arise, you change your direction to reach your goal. You do not change your decision to get there. We have 40 million reasons for failure, but not a single excuse.
It is not death that a man should fear, but he should fear never beginning to live.
It is not enough to show how clever we are by showing how obscure everything is. Everything we hear is an opinion, not a fact. Everything we see is a perspective, not the truth. Truth is naturally universal, and shines into many different windows, though many are clouded. I have been swimming inward and no longer drowning. I have been seeking the answers within myself. Our battered suitcases were piled on the sidewalk again. We had longer ways to go, but no matter, the road is life. Your future needs you, your past doesn't.
You need mountains. Long staircases don't make good hikers.
We never know which lives we influence or when or why.
Once friends as batchmates, but now different batches divide us.
If you can't do great things, do small things in a great way.
Once you really know yourself, can't nobody tell you nothing about you.
An empowered life begins with serious personal questions about oneself. Those answers bear the seeds of success. The Western mind makes definitions, it draws lines. A preoccupation with the next world clearly shows an inability to cope credibly with this one. Be happy in the moment. That's enough. Each moment is all we need, not more. If you can't change your fate, change your attitude.
Celebrate true friends. They are a part of you that always sparkles.
The one who falls and gets up is stronger than the one who never tried. Do not fear failure, but rather fear not trying.
I knew it like destiny, and at the same time, I knew it as choice. In order to be yourself, you must first know who you are.
Entertainment is temporary happiness, but the real happiness is permanent entertainment. Sacrifice is a part of life. It's supposed to be. It's not something to regret, it's something to aspire to. We are born from a quiet sleep, and we die to a calm awakening. You just have to go after what you want, and if it doesn't want you back, then so be it. It doesn't deserve you anyways. Be thankful for everything that happens in your life. It's all an experience.
Energy may be likened to the bending of a crossbow, decision to the releasing of a trigger.
Our ancestors have invented, we can at least innovate.
Law is made by the winner to preserve victory over the loser.
Fear tends to come from ignorance. Once I knew what the problem was, it was just a problem. Nothing to fear.
Have faith. Have faith. When you have nothing else, have faith.
Your mind must be stronger than your feelings. Never underestimate yourself when you do what is right. Never overestimate yourself when you do what is wrong. When you hold a grudge, you want someone else's sorrow to reflect your level of hurt. But the two rarely meet.
A clown on a throne is still a clown. A king in rags is still a king.
When all seems to be against you, remember, a ship sometimes has to sail against the current, not with it. The truth is found when men are free to pursue it.
Gratitude creates hope, and hope activates the law of attraction.
A man who dares to waste 1 hour of time has not discovered the value of life. If the only prayer you say throughout your life is thank you, then that will be enough.
If you have the guts to be yourself, other people will pay your price.
If you don't want anyone to know about your existence, you might as well kill yourself. You're taking up space, air. The act of going within, finding our truth and then sharing it, it helps us far more than we know.
It takes writing 1 billion bad words before you get to the good ones.
Inspiration is like perspiration. It tends to strike at the most inopportune of time. It is your responsibility to find fault with me. It is mine to hear you out. But don't expect me to change. Hold on to forgiveness, for it frees your heart of resentment and opens the door to healing and peace. Don't live down to expectations. Go out there and do something remarkable.
The most common form of despair is not being who you are.
Life will just not wait for us to live it. We are in it now, and now is the time to live. 2 things define you: your patience when you have nothing, and your attitude when you have everything.
If I cannot do great things, I can do small things in a great way.
Sometimes we're tested not to show our weaknesses, but to discover our strengths. Snow floated down every once in a while, but it was frail snow, like a memory fading into the distance. When you fail, you also learn how not to fail. The thing about a spiral is if you follow it inward, it never actually ends. It just keeps tightening, infinite. I can learn to live with guilt. I don't care about being good.
What is of supreme importance in war is to attack the enemy's strategy.
Some beautiful paths can't be discovered without getting lost. The stupid neither forgive nor forget. The naive forgive and forget. The wise forgive but do not forget. Life is really simple, but we insist on making it complicated. A wise man gets more use from his enemies than a fool from his friends.
Heard melodies are sweet, but those unheard are sweeter.
There is beauty everywhere. Even in the dark there is light, and that is the rarest kind of all. You are not just for the right or left, but for what is right over the wrong. A river cuts through rock, not because of its power, but because of its persistence. And in the end, it's not the years in your life that count. It is the life in your years. Living might mean taking chances, but they're worth taking. Loving might be a mistake, but it's worth making. There's some good in this world, Mr. Frodo, and it's worth fighting for. Remember, success is a journey, not a destination. Have faith in your ability. You will do just fine.
Man is an animal who has to live in a lie in order to live at all.
How ridiculous and how strange to be surprised at anything which happens in life.
Being unconquerable lies with yourself. Being conquerable lies with your enemy.
Believe in yourself. You are braver than you think, more talented than you know, and capable of more than you imagine. The worst part of success is trying to find someone who is happy for you.
Do what is right, not what is easy, nor what is popular.
The truth doesn't always set you free. People prefer to believe prettier, neatly wrapped lies. I've often mused over the idea that madness is actually a sane reaction to an insane world. Don't rush the process. Trust it. Great things take time. If a thing is worth doing, it is worth doing badly. A real decision is measured by the fact that you've taken a new action. If there's no action, you haven't truly decided. To have great pain is to have certainty. To hear that another person has pain is to have doubt. Life equals running, and when we stop running, maybe that's how we'll know life is finally finished.
If what one has to say is not better than silence, then one should keep silent. I don't want life to imitate art. I want life to be art.
All you know is what you think you know, but that isn't always what's real.
There's so much to be grateful for. Words are poor things. Pretend to be weak, so your enemy may grow arrogant.
Sometimes problems don't require a solution to solve them. Instead, they require maturity to outgrow them. 1,000 words leave not the same deep impression as does a single deed. Life is infinitely stranger than anything which the mind of man could invent. Everyone kept telling me not to worry, someone will do something. No one did. So I became someone and did something. Devour your fears or they will devour you. Fear is a lie. Stop believing lies. Everything has its wonders, even darkness and silence, and I learn, whatever state I may be in, therein to be content. Humility is nothing but truth, and pride is nothing but lying.